We are live. Welcome back to another episode of Rock Out with Your Doc Out. I'm Marcia Prince.
I'm Jackie Tarleton.
And I'm Dr. B.
Woo!
Sorry about that.
No,
I just totally blew up. We're the Plant Chics and a Plant Dude.
And a Plant Dude. And in between this Plant Chick sandwich is Dr. B.
Woo!
And if you don't know who Dr. B is, you guys have been living underneath a rock. He has been featured in Reader's Digest, Men's Health, Women's Health, Huffington Post, and many more publications. And now, the Plant Chics channel.
Woohoo! All right, and Dr. B is also double board certified in internal medicine and gastroenterology. You guys, one of the reasons we are so obsessed with Dr. B is because he likes the gut microbiome just about as much as we like the gut microbiome. So with all that being said, let's get this party started. You guys ready? So Dr. B's top 10 reasons why to go plant-based. Number 10, blissful euphoric dumps that have you smiling when no one is looking.
Woo!
This could easily be number one. Let me get that out of the way. I mean, basically, there's three things that can happen when you go into the bathroom to go number two. You can be groaning with displeasure. You could be having a boring dump, which, what does that do? Nothing. Or, like, we're in this hotel room right now, you could be making noises that grandma next door starts flushing, and the 18-year-old kid is like, whoa, that's hot. That's hot. And he doesn't realize you're taking a dump.
So how are our dumps supposed to be?
How are they supposed to be?
Yeah.
Well, they shouldn't be difficult. They shouldn't be painful. They should be nice and relaxed. And, you know, frankly, there is a pleasure sensation that comes with it. It should be kind of blissful and euphoric. And so, if you really want me to get into the detail, it should be sausage-shaped,
Yeah.
formed, you know, not too hard, and potentially coiling around the... Okay, fine, we'll stop.
One more question, though. How often should people go number two?
Gosh, it's such a good question because the issue, honestly, in the United States is that we've kind of normalized the abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of think like, okay, what's normal? 1 BM a day, right? We think 1 BM a day, but truly, if we were eating enough fiber, if we were Plant Chics plus Plant Dude,
That's right.
we would be going at least twice a day, potentially 3 times. That doesn't mean that I think that people should freak out at home if you're not going twice or 3 times a day. I'm just saying, though, that as you take care of your gut microbiome, you will be going to the bathroom more often because we know that 60% of the weight of your stool is actually gut bacteria, 60% of the weight. And so, in a way, yeah.
Did you guys learn that today or this weekend at the conference? Or
No,
you just knew?
This is something
great.
I read poop studies all day long, so this is something that I've been thinking about constantly. But nonetheless, you know, to me, there is some truth. Like we can joke about this, but there is some truth to saying that you can tell a lot about your gut health by the way that your bowel movements are coming, how frequently, the way that they are shaped, and things like that. And so, I do think that there's something to it. What does your poo say about you?
And if you guys don't know, the Plant Chics mascot is the poop emoji, which is Fiber Slayer. And you're supposed to be slaying fiber all day long. Yep.
Sorry, that was like that was way too graphic, and I
Perfect.
apologize
That's perfect.
at home.
Okay, so number 9, Flava Flaves, tons of flavor. And we're not talking about Fiber Slayer.
We're not talking about fiber flavor, we're talking about Flava Flaves. We're talking about the fact that every single herb, every single spice is a plant. There is no herb or spice that's meat. And so basically, if you want to enjoy the abundance of a plant-based diet, you have all of those choices in front of you, and all you gotta do is figure out what you like. Are you the cilantro person? Do you like basil? Like, what kind of stuff do you like? And let's spice it up and have some fun with our food, because we have all those choices.
We do. That's
Love
awesome.
it.
Garden your gut. Garden your gut.
Right. I love it. All right. Number 8. Every meal is like going to Golden Corral.
So, you know what, Golden Corral, I don't even know if I've actually been to Golden Corral, I have to be honest with you, all right?
Like, what does that mean?
Well, when I was a kid, I went to Ponderosa. That's what we had in the Northeast. We had Ponderosa and Friendlies, a lot of Friendlies, but that's different. And so they had the buffet, right? And you had all the choices, and you went back like 6 times, and you kept reloading your plate.
Ah, gotcha.
And so the point is that you can eat in abundance, and I legitimately believe that when you are eating whole foods, plant-based, I'm not talking about like an unhealthy vegan diet in the sense that you're eating processed vegan food. I'm talking about whole foods, plant-based. And when you eat that way, I legitimately believe that you can literally eat as much as you want.
Yes,
I agree.
And
So
you
we
should
talk
see
about
my wife is just like, I mean, she's gonna be so mad at me for saying this. I'm so sorry, babe.
Uh-oh.
But she can eat like a truck driver, and yet she
We do.
was a swimsuit model. So
Nice.
crazy. yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so number 7, Gandhi, Einstein, and Da Vinci. Can't be wrong.
These guys are way smarter than me. That's pretty much all I need to say about that. I do think that there's something to be said for when you are making choices. Yes, like plant-based diet is great for your health. It is the best diet for your health. But when you're doing this, there's also something to be said by making choices that are in some ways selfless, that you're doing something for other people, for the environment, for our children and the world that they're going to live in, for the animals. And so I do think that there's a lot to be said for that.
Sounds very compassionate.
Right,
Yeah.
very compassionate.
I love it. All right, number 6. Because you wouldn't eat your dog, would you?
Would you?
No.
No, because it's weird. You wouldn't eat your dog. And so, but then we look down our nose at these other countries where maybe they do that. Maybe that's a part of their cultural history. And yet, like, pigs are more intelligent than dogs. And they have feelings too. All of these animals have feelings too. And so I just honestly think that someday we're going to look back on this period of time and look at the way that we treated living creatures and just kind of say, like, that was really effed up. That was really effed up, the way that we were treating other creatures, very intelligent creatures. So I don't know.
No, that's awesome. I wouldn't eat my dog either. So
Yeah.
it's
Or
crazy.
either one of them.
No.
Yeah.
Number 5, get you ready for swimsuit season or jeggings.
You can't see it right now. I'm actually wearing jeggings right now. Okay, what's up, people? So
Looking good.
So I mean, I think the bottom line is weight loss, and I'll just speak for myself that I actually used to carry a lot more weight. I never felt like I was way overweight, but I weighed 235 and I lost 45 pounds.
Wow.
And just by changing my diet. And it's interesting. So back in the day when I was younger, I was single, I was working out like a wild man. I mean, I was like literally in the gym for 30 to 45 minutes a day. Then I would go and run a 5K or a 10K or jump in the pool for 100 links and go back and forth. And like, that's what I was literally doing, and I still couldn't lose weight. And then the amazing thing is I started to move towards a plant-based diet, and I actually stopped working out because I got busier. I started a family, we have children. And so I got too busy to really go to the gym, and yet the weight was just melting away. And I got all the way back to the same weight that I had in college. That was the last time that I weighed that much. And I was in my pant size, which had been like, I mean, these jeans, I was like jumping off the bed to like fit in these jeans. I'd have to do like a mid-air pull-up move to get the jeans over like my hips.
We've been there.
Never.
So, it's just like so interesting because now I got these same jeans that I've had for like 20 years. I love those jeans. They're so nice. And
So guys do
they're
that
loose.
too. You like
They just keep getting better.
Wow.
Why would you get rid of them?
Wow.
Why
I
would
just
you get
thought
rid
you
of
guys sized up.
They get better with age, but then like there's certain trends that come in and out. So like jeggings are hot right now, so I get the capri jeggings.
Oh, nice.
So I have like my 2019 capri jeggings, and I got my 1999 jeans, and so yeah.
It's all good.
That is funny. I love it. All right, are you guys ready? Are we doing you?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No. Number 3.
Boom, jump the gun. Boom.
Oh, like she's
Oh,
jumping.
wait. 4.
Oh, what the heck? You guys.
Well, you guys, sorry, we're confused. It's been a long weekend. We had so much fun though last night, right?
Yeah.
We did, yes.
All right, number 4. Because I am sick of evacuating Charleston every year. I love this one. This is a good one.
Yeah, so I live in Charleston, South Carolina. It's beautiful. Condé Nast rated us literally the #1 city in the world to visit. I don't know if you guys heard.
Wow.
No.
And so actually a couple years in a row, which is a little crazy because like, come on, Paris is on that list. Whoa.
What?
Wow.
Charleston?
Yeah,
Wow.
so it's a beautiful place, but it's kind of nestled down in this corner of our country on the Atlantic coast where it's prone to hurricanes. And I would just tell you that my wife grew up in Charleston,
Yeah.
and when she was 8 years old, their home was destroyed by Hurricane Hugo, literally destroyed.
Wow.
And so then, there was a period of time where there weren't that many hurricanes. There would be one every couple of years. It's going to happen. But now here we are, and like literally, I'm not exaggerating, we're evacuating every single year.
Oh wow. For
Um,
how long do you guys evacuate? Is
Well,
a week
it all
before?
depends on the individual storm. It all,
Couple days, couple weeks.
it's usually a couple days. I mean, I'm not saying that, like, there hasn't been a hurricane, thankfully, that has hit Charleston and destroyed Charleston. But I think the point is that you have to understand, like, where hurricanes come from. It's water temperature.
Right.
It's water temperature. So when the water temperature is high in September, then you're going to get more hurricanes. And now here we are, and we're getting, like, hurricane scares. I mean, pay attention to the weather this September, this October, how many hurricanes are coming through, and how many times, I'm telling you, like, I'm watching the news and I'm freaking out constantly because I'm like, is this going to be the one that comes and destroys our house?
They're starting
And so-
earlier and earlier, it seems like. I think it was like their last year or the year before, because we're in Miami right now, and it was 2 years ago. I was actually working a conference up in Atlanta, and there was a hurricane that was getting ready to hit Miami, and I ended up staying in Atlanta, and my husband, he did whatever he had to do with work. But literally, I didn't get home for the next week, and Miami was still shut down because it was bad. And the hurricane actually ended up hitting the other coast, Fort Myers.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
weather
wow.
situation is no joke.
Yeah, I think that was Irma, and then the year before that was Matthew. My son was 2 weeks old, and we had to evacuate Charleston because of Matthew. And then last year it was Florence. Florence sat over Wilmington, just sat there, and it just dumped rain. We evacuated for that one too. So anyway, the point being, I'm just kind of over it, and I wish that we would just take care of this planet. And I worry about what life is going to be like for our children.
Oh yes, for sure. It's already changed today. Okay, so number 3, your friends get older while you stay younger.
Hey, what's up? So you're all right. I honestly feel like I was talking about how when I was 32 and I weighed 235. I honestly feel like I've reversed aging.
Yep.
And so I am pushing 40 now. I feel like I'm in the best shape of my life. I weigh what I weighed in college. I'm in better shape than I was when I was in college. And I actually love it. I embrace it now when people say to me, "Are you old enough to be a doctor?" Like, when
Nice.
yeah, and I studied for like 16 years to be able to do this job.
Crazy.
So, originally, if you hear that, you kind of like, come on, like, I've worked so hard to be able to do this. But now I actually love it because I'm pushing 40 and people are like, "Are you like 26?" And so, and there's actually data that suggests that a plant-based diet can extend the length of telomeres, and telomeres are what is associated with aging. And so that's data from Dean Ornish. And so, basically I've realized in my own life I'm seeing the effects of what Dean Ornish is showing in his study.
Yeah, even Walter Longo talks about telomeres, and plant-based diet can help. So, go plant-based diet.
All right, number 2. Your healthy gut microbes are plant-based. Mic drop.
So yeah, the bottom line is that if you look, like, I'll give you an example of a great study that was done by Dr. Lawrence David and Dr. Peter Turnbaugh. It was published in Nature in 2014, and it was really cool because they put people on 2 extreme diets, and it was just for 5 days each. And so one was a completely animal-based diet, carnivore, keto,
Yeah.
and then the other was a completely plant-based diet. And what they were intending to show was the differential effects that it has on the microbiome. And what they showed is that in less than 24 hours, there are already dramatic changes in the gut microbiome that you can see. And in just 5 days, they could see that the gut microbiome on the animal-based diet was moving towards an inflammatory gut microbiome.
Oh.
And with the rise of certain bacteria that have been associated with inflammatory bowel disease. So, I mean, it's 5 days, so people did not actually develop inflammatory bowel disease in 5 days, but the point is that they're showing the groundwork being laid, the foundation being laid for disease that may not manifest for years later, but that's the reason why it's happening.
Sorry guys, I'm gonna just push that.
The flip side is that
We're still on Instagram.
We're still on Instagram, guys.
Okay,
Sorry.
cool. What's
we
up,
had,
Instagram?
We had technical difficulty with Facebook. I guess Facebook just dropped us.
Facebook is dying anyway.
Facebook died.
All right, so sorry.
We agree.
And so, but the plant-based diet. What's amazing is that the plant-based diet was so incredibly healing to the gut, and particularly with the release of short-chain fatty acids that you see, which we've been talking about during these days. But if you go back and listen to some of the podcasts that I've been doing in the last 2 years, I've been talking about these for a while. This, to me, is my obsession, and I can't wait to talk about this more in my book, to be honest with you.
Oh,
You're writing a book?
awesome.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, I have a book.
You
I'm
heard it
writing it
here
right
first.
now. So I'm actually in the process of writing it. It's due May 1st, so it's coming up really soon. And with Penguin Random House.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep, and coming out in
Congratulations.
about like a little less than a year, hopefully. So
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, super psyched.
So getting back to this study, since you can see if someone's following a carnivore diet or a keto diet and after 5 days they have increased inflammatory markers, but on the flip side, if someone's following a plant-based diet, is the gut microbiome moving towards a healthier gut microbiome after just 5 days? And how
100%.
quickly could patients or people that are just maybe just a little achy, like a little inflamed, how quickly could they see responses?
Well, there are things that you will notice literally within 24 hours that are beneficial. So the full effect of moving towards a plant-based diet is progressive over the course of weeks to months. You will get better and better and better. So it's not, I don't want to sit here and pretend that it's a silver bullet where you do this for 1 day and you fixed all your medical issues. Like, let's not be
Right.
completely ridiculous. But the point is that, yes, absolutely, you can heal your gut, which leads to downstream effects on so many other parts of your body. The fact that 70% of your immune system is in your gut, the fact that 90% of serotonin is produced in your gut, you are affecting the entire body, your brain, your heart, your liver, and your digestive system.
Impressive.
Entire body, guys.
Eat more plants.
That's right. And then the last one, number one, is because the meat sweats are just fucking gross.
They're disgusting. Honestly, like, who wants to have the meat sweats? And I have to tell you, this is one of my favorite studies that I've ever come across. They actually did a study to evaluate whether or not the meat sweats are real.
I didn't even know about these meat sweats.
You
Okay.
haven't? I heard
So-
about them. Yes.
Like, they joke, it's like an underground joke, like, oh, let's joke around about having meat sweats. So they actually did this, and they actually fed people a meat-heavy diet or a plant-based diet,
Okay.
and then they took their odor, all right, and had members of the opposite sex, meaning they took guys who were
pheromones?
eating meat, and they took their odor, and they had women smell it.
Oh.
There was a significant difference. So the women who were smelling the plant-based odor actually described it as being phenomenal, blissful, uplifting,
Nice.
hot. Okay, those weren't actually the words that they used. But the bottom line is that they did definitely detect a difference, and there was like sort of a putrid effect with the meat thing. So the meat sweats are real.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, that's crazy that they
But
study
on
smelled
the
it.
and on the totally opposite side, it is pretty awesome if you are with a plant-based significant other.
Oh, that's
Our
true.
husbands are like
Yes.
There you go. Yep.
So you guys heard it first.
It's
Dr. Serena!
here.
She's like peeping in the background.
Dr. Serena's here. You guys, they were in town for a gut conference, and we all got together last night for dinner. It was so fun.
Hi guys, I'm just crashing the party. I love these girls, Plant Chics, and Dr. B, Gut Health MD. He's awesome. And
Dr.
just wanted to
Serena?
say hi.
No,
That's
this is so
awesome.
good. We have to do your top 10 next.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
We'll have to have her on too. This is the intro, the segue to that.
That's right.
Okay, guys, thank you guys for joining us. But we have a special way that we like to close. We have our little rock out sign. Yes.
All right.
You're in this, all of us. Rock out with your rock out. Woo!
Bye, guys.
Okay, so technical difficulties, Facebook.